Hello there, Internet. This is the voiceover of someone who decided to sit down and record a nice, succinct intro, and instead her neighbors decided to throw a loud party the minute she pressed record. So instead you're getting video of me dancing around and looking slightly more annoyed as time goes on, while I simultaneously doodle on the screen. Why not? So today we're putting together the UGears Model Hurdy Gurdy. It is a laser cut kit. I requested this as a gift years ago and never put it together because I'm super cool. Sorry, Mom. So, timestamps will be below if you want to skip over anything super boring. First, I'm going to show a quick unboxing in case you want to see what the heck is inside one of these things. Then I'm going to speed run an assembly because I don't think you really need to see the entire thing in detail. You'll get the idea after time goes on, and you'll get to see how it sounds and what exactly you can do with it. Let's make some noise. Nope, my neighbors have that covered. Let's make a hurdy-gurdy. Okay, what's in the box? As you can see, there are stacks of laser cut wood, all nicely bound together. And that is a hammer, which I forgot to put together, but it's probably useful. Rubber bands, sandpaper, wax, rosin, and some strings. And while I was taking this out, I noticed this on the side, and I thought that was cute. These are the instructions. It's a nicely printed book. Kind of reminds me of Lego. And we're just gonna zip through all the pieces in case you're curious. And this one has separate instructions. Assembly. While you watch some video of the assembly process, here's a few tips that I learned after putting together a kit like this for the first time. Number 1, don't be too precious about popping out the laser cut pieces. I started off carefully cutting with an X-Acto knife, and that's not really necessary at all. The pieces are mostly a lot sturdier than you think. Number 2, in that same vein, don't use your X-Acto knife to push out the pieces. Maybe that's obvious to everyone else, but I totally broke a blade that way. Do not recommend. Number 3, do use the little wood punch tool that they provide. It's there for a reason. It's great for punching out pieces as well as using it to gain leverage while fitting the pieces together. Number 4, you'll likely need to use more force than expected to push the pieces together. The entire kit is put together using pressure fit pieces, so a tight fit is good. I was just worried that I might break something at first. Most of the time you're not. Number 5, there are some extra parts included in case you accidentally break one, which is great because I did utilize that option a couple of times. But before I started putting it together, I also scanned all of the parts. That way, if I needed to make a repair, I could theoretically print new parts. Luckily, I didn't have to do that, but it was an option. And finally, one thing that the instructions don't tell you is that normally on a hurdy-gurdy you would wrap cotton around the strings at the point that the wheel rubs against them, and that helps prevent them from, wearing out. And when I did it on the model, I actually think it sounded better. So I'd recommend giving that a try if you actually want to play your model, at least a little bit. here's the final assembly. It does in fact work. I tuned it, but I noticed that the examples online that they actually tuned it up an octave higher than I tuned it, but I do think it sounds a lot less tinny with the octave down, but I have no idea what the actual notes are really supposed to be for something like this. I don't know what a traditional hurdy-gurdy is supposed to be tuned as. I should probably look that up. But yeah, it works. Because of the inner mechanisms, which I'm pretty sure must be for decorative purposes. It looks really cool, but you do have to kind of crank it really hard. It's kind of hard to hold on to it, and it's a little hard to really have to kind of push it down to be able to get the crank going, and that makes it very hard to do the buttons. But this, I don't think, is really meant to be played as an instrument per se. It's mostly a model that happens to play, and then you get to kind of see how a hurdy-gurdy is more or less put together. And it's kind of great, but this did get me thinking if I could make something using some of these techniques to, I don't know if improve on the sound is the right way to describe it, but at least expand on it. What's this? That's not right. Excuse me. So I decided I wanted to make my own drone noisemaker. I decided to go the easiest method possible to just kind of do a proof of concept. So this involved commercially available bamboo kitchen drawer organizers that I cut into and installed a bunch of 3D printed parts and got some guitar tuners and kind of glued and screwed a bunch of things together. I also had to redesign and reprint the bottom connector down there because the original one I designed definitely couldn't take the force of the strings pulling on it. But hey, this is a beta test. We just needed to see if it works and doesn't fall apart immediately. Success! Welcome to the humble Grumble. It is my attempt at a drone-like sound maker. It is actually made from violin strings because I had some really old ones just laying around, so I figured I might as well put them to use. And actually went through a few that were breaking on me because they were that old. But I'm not sure it sounds better, but it definitely makes more noise. And that's about it. However, I do think there is a way to use these kinds of noise instruments. I mean, normally a hurdy-gurdy isn't a noise instrument, but this particular one kind of is. I think there's a way to make these sound interesting in a musical sense. Well, hey, Maestro, what do you think? Are you impressed? Are you impressed at all? Are you impressed with your human? No, you are not. That's okay. I'm sure a lot of people aren't impressed. But for myself, I feel like there's going to be some more noise-making experiments in the future. And for the dozens of you out there who are also into that sort of thing, stay tuned to subsequent videos. I'm sure there'll be something out kind of soon-ish. Maestro, you're not cleaning your butt on camera, are you?